No, For the meeting, where's Dr. Spurgeon? Oh. Dr. Spurgeon. All right. Thank you. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence. I want to welcome Elise Orozco to the front to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Looks like we have 3 board members here today, and we have one more on their way.
You move past, can we wait to approve the agenda and do the other things until we get?
Might have to move because
So do current events.
yeah, we'll
and
do
maybe,
we'll skip over to current events and then we'll come back to the motion to adopt the agenda. So we'll start with Superintendent Spurgeon.
Thank you, Chairman Ramirez. Appreciate that. So been really busy since last time we met, several presentations. Let me kind of go down through the list. Presentation for LD 28, LD 29. Did a media interview with Senna James, AZ Big Media, around the advanced manufacturing work that we're doing with our students in our facilities. I was able to sit on a West-MEC AZ MC plan panel between last meeting and this meeting. With student success, we got to share some great stories around that. Sun City West Republicans Club presentation, Buckeye Chamber of Commerce presentation, did a leadership talk and a Westview update bond presentation for the Wellick and the Wellick Learning Center for the Wickenburg Institute, Leadership Institute. Ms. Mills and I completed our first bond facts social media video that'll be coming out here pretty quick. Did a presentation to the Festival Ranch Republicans and Independence interest groups. Did a presentation for our Superintendent's Advisory Council. And then we also took a tour of the Career Academy at Agua Fria. Did a bond presentation for the Peoria Chamber Networking Breakfast. Did one for the Peoria City Council last night. Also did one for philanthropic group that came to our Northeast campus that also toured yesterday. So I completed 3 of those yesterday. Also want to make sure everybody knows that the CIMACON International Conference is in town for the first time in Phoenix. It's the first time it's been out of San Francisco for a number of years. And boy, there's just people, it's the biggest conference I think I've probably been a part of or seen.
Have you been down there?
Yeah, it's it. And what's in the exhibit halls for the technology that's available today, it's just staggering. It's just staggering, just a great conference. So a lot of presentations, a lot of things happening. We've done several tours of our campuses. We had Matthew DePaul with Fire Cat, also they call it yellow steel. So they have a lot of cat machinery. They're looking at our medium heavy diesel program and our welders for potential pipeline for our students to work in Empire Cat. So I had a great conversation and tour of our Career Academy at Agua Fria and also our Southwest campus. Gave a great tour and a bond issue presentation and update overview of the facts of our Southwest campus to the Pebble Creek Rotary Club. Had a phenomenal conversation with them. Got a chance to tour Building B, energy manufacturing, and then we also got to see our water systems, welding, our new IT security space, and our construction space and electrical space. So they were very pleased with all the great work that our students are doing in each of those areas. Got a chance to do a bond presentation and update to the Agua Fria governing board members. They had their last meeting on the Agua Fria Career Academy campus. After that, we got a chance to tour all their board members and all their administrators through the academy. And that was a phenomenal experience for everyone. Had about 3 individuals from the state of Alaska that came in to tour our Southwest campus to see our programs and our offerings for our students and look at our process and procedures, take back to their respective districts. Also took a tour of the Career Academy at Agua Fria with the Superintendent's Advisory Council, which Ms. Mills organized, which was fantastic. We had a number of legislators there, several LD chairs that were there, several business folks that were there, and several administrators. So it was a great conversation we had in the actual electrical room of our academy at Agua Fria, which was fantastic. And then I talked a little bit about the semicon tour with the philanthropic group that came in. And I just have to compliment, Kristen did a great job with Northeast Campus. Mike, you did a great job with all the things that's going on in Alva Fria. But yesterday with our students and the philanthropic group that was there was about 20 or 25. And they got a chance to have our students show them all the things they've learned just in the 9 weeks of our advanced manufacturing program for the semiconductor industry. And all I can say is, Chris, I think you'd probably agree that they were blown away. And I said, come back in about a year and now then you'll see what our kids really know. But in 9 weeks, our students were able to design, to make the thing do the thing. They had a lot of the machines working and they had each area that they're working on or will be learning. They were able to give a description and talk with the folks that were there. And again, these folks were there for a program called TechSmart. And we just happened to be on their list. And so all the folks in that room were funders of grants, programs and services that they do all across America. So we're hoping that we made such an impact that they may reach out to us and allow us to apply for some additional funding. So just been real busy, very thankful for the opportunities that we've had. Great feedback and great conversation. Again, it's not just about presenting the facts, it's about continuing to develop those relationships that we either have to strengthen or those we didn't have in the past to be able to build and really talk about the great things that we do for not only our students, but our community as a whole. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you. All right, well, now that we have a quorum, I'd like to jump back to item number 3, the motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So move.
Okay, do I have a second?
Seconded.
All right, thank you, Ms. Wiley. I'll call the question. Voted now? All right. Motion passes. Thank you. All right, let's jump back to summary of current events. We'll start with governing board members. Start Mr. Steins. Like to give a brief summary of current events?
I apologize, I'm late.
It's fine.
Every time I try to take it a different direction to come here faster, it's not faster
No,
at
it's not
all.
bad, sir.
Just a late earlier. I apologize. I spoke at the at our legislative district meeting about the 2 propositions that we have coming up. You know, they always love us. So I mean, it's preaching to the choir, really. They want a tour of the Northeast campus. So I've got to arrange something there. A bunch of them came up and they wanted a bunch of signs, and Ed was kind enough to get me some signs for some of the people to put in their front yard or in a better location. I encourage, you know, I've done this for a long time. Putting signs up in your front yard is great, but not if you live on a cul-de-sac and only 5 people ever see the sign. So you want to put it on a friend's corner house to where you can get traffic going both ways. But hopefully I was able to do that. But the meeting went very well. They swallowed hook, line, and sinker everything I had to say. I thought it was interesting. Did you have a chance to take a look? Well, the negative comment, he obviously didn't read the very next page, which explained what he was complaining about. So
I think the comment was very similar among all that were out there. So we think it was a blanket statement for everyone.
yeah. So, anyway, that's it.
Thank you. And then Ms. Casillas, Mr. Steins, Ms. Casillas, if you'll get with her after the meeting, you can probably set up some dates or some times to get that group out to our Northeast campus. That'd be fantastic.
Okay.
That'd be wonderful. Great.
Mr. Molina? To share some.
I attended several of the events that Dr. Spurgeon spoke at, answered some questions of some constituents regarding the different proposals. By and large, very strong support across the board. There's a few naysayers like there always are, particularly in my neck of the woods out in Peoria. And mostly because it's a very retirement heavy area. But even within that demographic, there's still a lot of support. So I'm very optimistic about our outlook for getting these 2 propositions passed. I had an opportunity to attend the Semicon yesterday. And I've been to many industry shows before in my prior life. And I've got to say that this one is probably the largest I've ever been to. And the amount of technology, and particularly the physical development, the engineering that has taken place is tremendous. I was commenting earlier that back in the mid-80s, when I first started working in artificial intelligence, or the precursors to artificial intelligence, we kept running into problems of not able to achieve what we called level 3 data fusion, which basically gets to a decision in the process. And the problem, as I look back on it now, was that we simply didn't have the computing power to make it happen. And the solution appears from one of the presentations that was done yesterday morning was that it became a physical problem. So with the advent of nanoengineering, nanotechnologies, we're now able to create systems that are able to process much more data much quicker. So we're now, as you get to ask questions of ChatGPT and Google and everything else, and you see how quickly the responses come back, that's because of the advances in that processing capability. Not that we're, in my mind, any smarter, but the mechanical side of it is where in my opinion, is where all the advances have come in the last
The hardware.
10, 15 years. The hardware is where it's become. And as an adjunct to that, that's why it's TSMC being here is so important. Amcor coming here is so important because that's where all that integration takes place. And that's where we'll be able to make those additional advances. So that's all good. And on a final note, I confirmed just about 20 minutes ago that Mr. Ryan French's dad was actually my high school, when I was a freshman, my general business instructor and my basketball coach, and when I was a freshman. So, and I kept meaning to ask, I said, it's gotta be. And sure enough, it was. So, good to know.
Mr. Molina, good news about the increase in the Amcor investment that we just found out about.
Yeah, absolutely. 250% increase in the investment, went from a $2 billion investment in the city of Peoria to $7 billion. And that is just phenomenal. And a lot of it is thanks to that gentleman with the phone that's standing in the back of the room.
Awesome.
Mike Fast. So anyway,
Thank you. Ms. Wiley?
I don't know what I did. I know I went to. I went to a number of meetings with Dr. Spurgeon. And I have to say, I was at a meeting last Saturday. And two people were speaking who were running for the Arizona Corporation Commission. And there's a lot of people on the Arizona Corporation Commission right now, but I've had experience years ago with them. So I got up at the microphone and I just give me 1 minute. And I told my story of and I couldn't stress how important it is to get the right people on the Arizona Corporation Commission, because we need the power plants in order to produce the AI that's gonna be out there. I mean, it's just a given. And if you got the wrong people up there, you can't. And I had an experience with the Arizona Corporation Commission, and when I fought, it took 3 years. And I swear, I went out and got somebody to run for that position that would be my third vote. The night after she was elected, APS called me up and said, okay, what will you take? That was it. That is how important that Arizona Corporation Commission is, and people don't realize it. So I did have a big piece of that. Other than that, I do whatever I
Small
can.
news. Thank you for sharing that. All right. I want to thank one of our great teachers, Mr. Paul Getz, our IT security instructor for Southwest campus. He hosted the Arizona Department of Homeland Security, a couple of representatives. And they gave a great presentation to the students there. I was very impressed by the students, their questions, they're very engaged. And I'm just excited for the program and the students and the representatives promised to come back. They asked the students what sort of information or other presenters they were interested in, and so they're gonna bring more of their technical folks the next time they come around. So yeah, it was a great overall experience. I like seeing the excitement in the students. And then also drove by the our southeast campus. It's exciting to see the structure has gone up now. So now you can see, yeah, you can see the shape of the building. It's huge. It's massive, yeah. So definitely
fill
excited
the
for that.
green.
What's that?
Yeah, we'll fill it, for sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's it. See?
Participation.
Moving on to, no one, no public participation?
Nobody.
Okay. All right, I'll just make a second call for the public. No one, okay, third call to the public. Okay, we'll move on. Moving on to recognitions and celebrations. And Mr. Gabaldon? Troy Gabaldon? And and Mr. Johnson? Yes. Well. Hi.
Hi, Chairman
Yeah,
Ramirez,
welcome,
Governing
yes.
Board, Dr. Spurgeon. I'm excited to be able to introduce Alex Navarrete. Alex was selected recently by the American Welding Society as the Educator of the Year for Section 55. Section 55 covers the entire state. The American Welding Society is what we go through for our certifications. They do a lot of stuff for curriculum in the industry, and they're great supporters as we go through that. So we're really excited. I'm gonna turn it over to be able to recognize Alex back here. He's gonna come on up. To be able to recognize Alex for that. Now, part of this, last month, Alex got to go to Chicago, part of being the Educator of the Year. The American Welding Society paid for him to go out to Chicago for a big conference, and he was able to work on not just curriculum, but policy and different things for the American Welding Society. So what he's doing there goes a lot more than just in the classroom and stuff. It really goes and makes a big difference across.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here's Alex.
Sure. Yeah, well, thank you guys for recognizing me for this award. I mean, American Welding Society has been a big thing for me, so since I was 18, but getting an award for them just means a lot to me. So, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do this without the help of Delphina at Central. We got Pedro at Southwest, and lastly, Eric Fye. Oh, and also Richard Jones at Northeast. But with a little bit of everyone's input, we have a great welding team, and they made me the educator I am today.
Well, how did you go into welding yourself in the first place?
I was accidentally put into the class out in Yuma, Arizona. So I thought, they put me here by mistake. I tried it out and ended up loving it. So
And how old were you then?
I was 16 at the time. So
16.
I just kept pushing. So right after high school, went to college, got my degree in welding. And then just recently in November, I became a certified welding inspector. So, and then certified welding educator, certified welder, and trying to get some other certifications with AWS.
So what do you like best about teaching?
For me, it's just looking back at how the students was and how they are today. So a lot of the students that I worked with, now they're working at Caterpillar with the boiler makers, pipe fitters, iron workers. So just to see them progress and go into the industry, that's the success that I like.
Now, one of the first tours that I did was at welding, and it was down at a high school down on Northern or something. And that teacher, he just beamed when those students came in. And they'd bring up the welds, oldest pass, and they'd say, no, you gotta do. I mean, he just was so patient with them. It's wonderful. Thank you.
I heard, the government is looking for 6,000 welders over the next few years.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to step it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the average age, I believe that AWS said was 55 years old for welders,
55.
so.
So,
So a lot of them are retiring, so we need to fill in the workforce.
yeah, 6,000,
That's a big need,
that's
yeah.
very-
Mr. Steins, the other thing that they're gonna need a lot of is because of all the new data centers and warehouses, the HVAC technicians are exploding.
Oh, yeah.
Keep those data centers cool.
Yeah. Well, we just put that beautiful new facility up on the northeast campus. I suppose it's full already. Well, we got more ground out there. don't we?
Take over the airport. Thank you, Alex.
Congratulations, Alex.
Congratulations. Hey, Mr. Gabella. Mr. Gabella.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
We're doing the recognition for Crystal Rowe for the Employee of the Month. She could not make it. She wanted to apologize. She had something else that came up, so she couldn't make it tonight. But I'll read what we had written for her for the Employee of the Month. We'd like to recognize Crystal Rowe as our Employee of the Month. Crystal does a great job in building relationships with her students, industry partners, and colleagues. In a short time we've been in school, Crystal and her students have managed to host 3 fundraisers, have her first advisory council meeting, and work with Maricopa County Sheriff's Office to have her students trained in Stop the Bleed and CPR and first aid. Additionally, Crystal continues to build and strengthen relationships with industry partners. She was recently invited to tour Buckeyes PD New Communication Center and to discuss a potential partnership with our students. She also works closely with DPS and the County Sheriff's Department on opportunities for students. She and her students were also invited to participate in the September 11th tribute at the Perryville Prison. Whether through guest speakers, work-based learning opportunities, or CTSO activities, Crystal regularly goes out of her way to ensure her students have access to all aspects of law and public safety. And, just being in class, you figure, a couple months here, she's done a lot just in a couple of months with her students. It's kind of amazing, everything she sets up and everything she does to make sure her students get the real life, activities of law and public safety. So that's why we wanted to recognize her.
Wow.
Yeah.
One thing I will mention is about Troy, probably maybe about 6 months ago, when the new DPS leadership came to Central Campus, one of the comments they made was West-MEC sends us the best. So that's a testament to the work that Crystal does in our law and public safety. So we're very fantastic and very appreciative of all of her work. She does a great job. Great job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Smells.
All right, so moving on to proposition efforts updates. Yes, Miss Megan Mills.
Good evening, Chairman Ramirez, governing board members, Dr. Spurgeon, and our West-MEC community. I'm Megan Mills, and as you know, we have 2 items on the November ballot. And as our political consultant shared with us several months ago, one of the key strategies of the election is making sure that our community is well informed. And so I'd like to talk to you about the proposition efforts related to our community outreach. Before I get started on the presentation, I wanted to let you know this has been a collaborative effort, not only amongst myself with Dr. Spurgeon and our executive cabinet, but my colleague Chris Cook has been paramount in making sure that all of the communication, whether it's visual or online, are just spectacular. So I wanted to give him some credit for those amazing efforts he and his team have made. As you know, the election ballot has come out for both Proposition 403 and 406. Between the two, there were 1 opposed statement for Prop 403 and 25 in support of 403. Likewise, Prop 406, which allows us to sell land, had 16 pro statements and 0 opposed statements. So, there we go. Our job as a district is really to get out factual information. To do that, we've been utilizing our website. To date, since it launched about 4 weeks ago, our dedicated webpage specific to the election has received 3,000 webpage views. In addition to that, we've distributed 3,500 fact sheets. We've sent out over 7,200 emails to different alumni groups. And as you're well aware, Dr. Spurgeon and the team have been out in the community speaking to a lot of different groups. To date, 25 presentations have been completed and there are 11 more remaining.
Keep it busy.
Yes. In addition to these efforts, we've also generated print materials that helps the community better understand the reach that West-MEC has. One of the things that we've done is put together an economic impact report that shows our contribution to the region, to the state. And in summary, we produce over $100 million worth of economic impact. Our demographic is able to take a look at that report and really understand the importance of the work that West-MEC does and how this bond will allow us to continue to show great numbers like that. I mentioned the fact sheet has gone out to lots of community members, and we have one other print material called Beyond Graduation, which talks about how CTE leads to stronger outcomes for students who are completers. Our social media has also been in full force. In September, we featured 6 initial posts. In October, we featured 11, and we'll be gearing up in November to include Election Day, reminding the public that there is an election happening and that every vote counts. Our key topics on social media are listed there, but key dates for the proposition voting is what has been featured on social media. And we also have a promotional video coming out on Friday that will highlight what both propositions are for. We've also received media placements. These are things that we've published ourselves or that the media has picked up. You'll see the names of those news media outlets listed on the bottom of the slide. So a couple of different topics that have been featured include West Valley mayors who have opinions on the bond, aviation being a central program and why it's beneficial and how the bond supports that. And during this time, we've also received positive media regarding our financial reporting. Stay tuned on Friday. We will be putting out that short video for you, and I'll send you a link as soon as that's available. With that in mind, I wanted to also let you know that there are some efforts in the community unrelated to West-MEC in support of the bond. And while I'm here just to talk about factual information, I did see an article that the Glendale Chamber of Commerce recently published in a magazine. And I was going to hand that to you, so you may see this in your community and might like to be aware of other efforts that are ongoing aside from what we're doing officially as a district. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, I saw an article on the West Valley newspaper that comes out weekly. There was a front page article on West-MEC and the propositions.
They've given us good spot.
Yeah.
Salts.
That's cool. Thank you. Thanks.
Ms. Mills, with the election being strictly a mail-in, you've got on social media November election day posts. I think they're suggesting that you may mail your ballots back by October 28th or something like that.
Yes.
Would it make sense to move those social media posts all into October? Just
Thanks
because,
for the suggestion.
but November will be too late. All right, thank you.
How is the anticipation, how does it seem to be going? I mean, nobody has anything negative to say about West-MEC. I mean, I'm
Very positive, very positive. Everybody
Yeah.
gone. I mean, it's hard to argue with workforce. I mean, it's by part of an issue that you have probably in the state of Arizona, maybe anywhere in any state. Because the great things we do, the bottom line, and I tell people this all the time, if we weren't producing the quality of product and our students that we produce, nobody would be knocking on our doors. But because we do such a great job, it's just not even an arguable point.
I think the only negative is from somebody who doesn't know what we do at all.
Right.
You've never heard of West-MEC, so you inform them. Oh, it's a vocational.
Yeah.
Gee, I wish I had that when I was this going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's really been a positive resource for us has been the legislative chairs. They initially meet with Dr. Spurgeon and the team. And then shortly after meeting with us, they've invited him to attend their legislative district meetings. And that's been a positive reception from the extended community.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, annual expenditure analysis of the voter approved capital bond, Mr. Ryan French.
Thank you, Chairman Ramirez, Governing Board, Dr. Spurgeon, and West-MEC Community. This item this evening is required by statute. So there is an item in statute that says if a district has a capital or M&O override or bond expenditures that they are expending throughout the fiscal year, that we give the community an opportunity to comment on those expenditures. And so that's what we're doing this evening. The last bond authorization that West-MEC has passed was the 2016 bond series. That bond authorization was $141 million. West-MEC broke that up into two sales. The first sale was May of 2017, $80 million, and the second sale of that bond was 2019 in September for 61 million, which equals the $141 million. West-MEC does not have any remaining authorization since all of the monies were sold in those two sales. I did want to show the board and the community how West-MEC has spent those dollars thus far. You can see the vast majority of those dollars have been spent on facility acquisition and construction. We have spent approximately just under $10 million in purchase of land. And the remaining amount of 1.7 million has been spent on student technology, furniture, and equipment. West-MEC has historically spent their their district additional assistance, which is their capital funds, of those, and has really focused on construction and land purchases with their bond money. So as of this fiscal year, we have $19 million remaining in that bond. That is going to be spent to finalize the final payouts for the Career Academy at Agua Fria. We have I believe we finished everything at Northeast Campus for the expansion. So the majority of that money is going to be spent on Southeast for phase one. Happy to answer any questions.
So the remaining balance is gonna be used for Agua Fria and Southeast Campus?
Yeah, so we needed to close out the Agua Fria construction, and there are some bond monies that from when this dollar amount was pulled, which was the June 30th cash balance with the treasurer. We have since closed out our construction, and so there was be dollars spent at Career Academy, and the remaining funds would be spent at Southeast.
Okay.
One of the things that I think that voters like to see is the direct line from these expenditures and how it benefits the student. And in our case, what I call our product. And I know we've got the data, I've seen the data, we've all seen the data, but just drawing the direct line that goes, this $141 million, this is what it generated.
Yeah.
And so when you put it in front of a voter, they can say, yes, I'm all in on that.
And pictures and data will speak volumes.
I think that'll also help garner support for the two props that we have coming.
Yeah, it's perfect timing, right? Because
Yeah.
we're running out of the last of the bond money that we have authorized, so
Yeah.
it'd be great timing to pass another one.
Sure.
Thanks. Any other
Thank you.
questions? Thank you. Section E, right? Motion to approve consent agenda items. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. All right, we'll have a second.
This is Robert, I'll second.
Robert?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Robert's online. Okay.
Online, I've been
All
online.
right, Robert seconded. All right, call the question.
I'll have to give a verbal vote because I'm driving, so I can't do.
Robert, say something.
Yeah, so I vote
Cutting out
yay.
really bad.
I think that's his connection.
Yeah, so I vote yay.
The entire length of the vowels.
Yeah. See,
Yeah, there's E, see?
Mr. Chair, did you get my vote?
Second motion passes. Did Robert try to vote, or I didn't see him on there?
Yeah, I vote. I said yes.
What's that? Oh, okay, okay. Okay. All right, moving on to, what is it, action discussion? Action discussion, all right, Sir Ryan French, motion to approve the intergovernmental agreement for development and lease of property between West-MEC and the city of Peoria, and authorize the superintendent to sign the intergovernmental agreements and any other affiliated documents. Welcome back.
Thank you, Chairman Ramirez, Governing Board, Dr. Spurgeon, and West-MEC community. Like Chairman Ramirez said, this is an IGA that West-MEC and the city of Peoria have been putting together for a piece of property in the Estancia area. Ideally, what the West-MEC's intention is when the bond passes, is to purchase this piece of property, but we want to be able to secure it in the meantime. So that's really what this document is. It's a legal document between the city of Peoria and West-MEC in order to secure that property until bond funds are secured so we can purchase that property.
Prince, it's east of Gerald Mirage and north of, we're gonna be right across the street from the new ALA High School. Then right behind us is gonna be the new Honor Health System. So when Amcor moved, it opened up that space for us, which was exactly where we wanted to be. Thanks to Mike Powers, who's also here with us this evening from the city of Peoria. Mike has just done a yeoman's job of making sure that we got it done, Mike. Thank you very much for all your work.
So with that, we're asking the board to approve this so we can secure that piece of property. If the board has any questions, we do have representation from the city of Peoria to help answer it or answer any of those questions that you may have.
I have a question for the district, or assuming the bond passes, is it our intent to exercise our purchase option immediately?
Yes. It would be in the best interest of the district to do so.
Okay.
Just the IGA has language in it that would have, if we were just to continue the lease, that has escalators attached to it, so it'd be in the best interest of the district.
Yeah.
To purchase it right away.
That would definitely save the district money. Yeah, instead of having to lease it.
Mr. Prince, so the money we pay for lease also goes towards the payment of purchasing the property as well. Oh, okay.
Worst case scenario, if the bond doesn't pass.
Worst case scenario, we have the ability to, or us or the city of Peoria have the ability to back out of the IGA. And it's, so there is language in there that says that the bond doesn't pass. Now, we would then, if the bond doesn't pass, have discussions because we could potentially go out the next fiscal year and we would want to continue to have that piece of land secured. So we'll probably be in the best interest.
If that were the case, we just continue the lease during that period of time.
Correct.
I don't think we'll need to do that, but no.
There's not a better piece of property that's available for us where we want to be. And that's it. That's the one.
And we've had a great partnership with the city of Peoria on getting this drafted and everything, getting prepared for tonight's meeting.
Sure. Another question, under West-MEC undertakings, there are several provisions here, requirements from the district. I'm assuming that once the district owns the property, these no longer apply, right?
This is just for the lease of the property. Once we purchase the property, there will be a purchase agreement between the city of Peoria and West-MEC that would come back to you, but then we would be property owners. So some of these things like insurance requirements and whatnot would not apply.
Yeah,
So
we don't fall under district.
Correct.
The district would be responsible.
Absolutely. Same thing for the property at 101 on Peoria Avenue, the 14 acres there as well.
Okay.
Almost identical, very similar in nature as the one at Peoria 101.
Do I have a motion from the board? A second? Any Any further discussion? Nope. Okay. Question?
Again, a verbal vote, yes. Mr. Chair, did you get my vote? One. Hello, anybody there?
It sounds like he just heard.
What's going on with that tech?
Bad as your face can.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's your mouth openers are.
Good. There we go.
Did you get my vote?
I texted him. Did you? Okay. Yeah. Mr. Garcia, we can't hear you. You're broken up. I texted you a couple of questions, so take a look.
Okay, looks like the motion passes.
He's gonna use.
He's logged in, right? So
Yeah, he's logged in.
yeah, you can follow the agenda.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
texted him, so he's,
Okay.
he's, even though he's not president, he's president of the meeting, so he's available to vote.
All right. Okay, all right, moving on to item G2, motion to approve the annual financial report and related financial report for fiscal year 2024-2025. Mr. Ryan French.
Thank you, Chairman Ramirez, the governing board, Dr. Spurgeon. I told some of you you'd get sick of hearing my voice tonight, but this is my last report, I promise. I do have the privilege of reporting on the financial report for fiscal 24-25.
Yeah, I don't know his name. You
By
got it.
statute, again, this is required by statute that we prepare and submit an AFR no later than October 5th. So this was our last chance to have the board approve it, and so we can get it submitted to the Arizona Department of Education. This report is really a broad review and reporting system of the district's operating and financial conditions. So I'm going to share some of the highlights from the report this evening. Typically, I would show this slide before any budget or AFR presentation before the board. It shows the board the budget life cycle. So really, this AFR started back in the spring of 24 with the budget development. You have the proposed budget, the adopted budget. It talks about when we set tax rates, when those tax bills are mailed. It talks about the final budget revision in May. It all culminates in this evening's board meeting, the October board meeting, for the board to approve the annual financial report. So all of the budget presentations you saw for 24-25 were guesses of what we would spend throughout the year. This really culminates everything and says what the district did spend and where we spent it. The slides will follow the order of the AFR document. I don't know if any of the board members have that document open, but the page 1 of the AFR is the cover page. Sherry's going to have you guys sign that for me this evening so I can send that into the Department of Ed, showing signatures of the board. After page 1, we have page 2, which includes all the revenues received in our levy accounts. These accounts include M&O capital, also known as district additional assistance, and debt service. You can see from the chart, a majority of revenues received by the district was from the state. That's $80 million, 80.8. That's approximately 86% of the revenues received, followed by property taxes, 9.3, roughly 10%. We had an interest received of 3.3 million, or roughly 3.5% of the revenues received. There was also a small amount of revenue in lieu of taxes and a miscellaneous revenue accrued over the course of the year that amounted to under 1%, as well as tuition. Page 2 of the AFR reports on M&O. and allows the district to review expenditures in several ways. As school districts are required to adhere to the rules and guidelines outlined in the Uniform System of Financial Records, or commonly known as the USFR, part of these guidelines are how districts are required to code salaries and purchases. The account code structure is made up of 7 subsections, which are fund, program, function, object, unit, course, and project. We will touch on function and object during tonight's presentation. The account code standardization is important because it allows districts and charters to analyze expenditures like we will be this evening. Here. I did want to let the board know when I was reviewing the information on the slide, there is a slight error that I want to point out. And that's going to have to do with the administration dollars in yellow. So page 2 of the AFR allows us to analyze our expenditures by function. You can think of expenditures by function as the who made the expenditure. Again, of the approximately $53.7 million expended in M&O, 29.6 million or 57% was spent on direct instruction of the students. To complement that number, the district also spent approximately 10.3 million. If you add student support and instructional support, you come up with that $10.3 million or 20% to support students both instructionally and just student support. 5.4 million or 10.4% is attributed to operations and 8 million or 15% on administration. That's where I wanted to say there was an error. There was a number there that needed to be added that didn't get added before the meeting, so I apologize. So that 6.5 should really be $8 million. Administrative services include functions 23, 24, and 2500, which is business resources, human resources, IT, as well as district and campus administration. Page 2 also gives a breakdown by object. You can think of object as the what was spent. 39.8% of expenditures are attributed to salaries and benefits. Purchase services include employee training, repairs and maintenance, travel, utilities, as well as purchase professional services such as technical services for our programs and other contracted positions when needed. Purchase services comprise 5.6 million or 10.5% of the expenditures. Supplies were 3.8% of expenditures, and other expenditures were almost 46%. Other expenditures includes expenditures for dues and fees such as memberships, professional organizations, but the majority of that money was the pass-through money to our member districts. Page 4 of the AFR reports on district additional assistance, also known as capital. 46% of the expenditures were for furniture, fixture, and equipment, which includes campus and district level purchases. Construction services were both for both campus and district level projects, and pass-through money to our member districts were 43.7% of the capital expenditures, while 5.4% were expended on books and instructional aids for the students. New requirement this year had the district break out non-instructional software into additional category. That is going to be non-instructional software, 424,000. That equates to 2.8% of the expenditures in the capital budget. There were also expenditures for redemption of bond principal of 300,000 and a small rental expense. So next steps for this is for after the board approves, I will be sending this document to the Arizona Department of Education. It will be posted on the district's website per the statute. And that all has to take place before October 15th. Happy to answer any questions the board has.
I'm assuming there's a ratio of what's typical or what is normal.
There absolutely is.
Do we have anything that would be of concern?
No.
That's out of the norm.
So if we took a look at function, that is going to be instruction, student support, instructional support. If you add all those three together, what the AG's office comes out with a report called dollars in the classroom report. Now I looked, West-MEC does not have one of those reports. So they typically report that on elementary and high school districts. I don't know. It looks like they don't do that report on CTES because we are different. But we spend over 70% of our dollars supporting dollars in the classroom. So that is very typical and actually higher than normal.
It typically look more at the what is spent on the over non-instructional, non-student, like the administration costs, does that fall within those parameters of acceptability? I know we overpay our superintendent. No, I'm kidding. We got a bargain, I think, but I just wonder if that falls within those parameters of acceptability or.
Yeah, those are within normal parameters. I believe we were at 15%, but they're normally gonna see between 10 and 15.
Is one of the reasons we're at the top end of that is because of the difficulty we have sometimes in obtaining a qualified instructor to, for instance, a diesel mechanic, the instructor could probably do real well out in the real world, rather than being an instructor for West-MEC. And I know sometimes our pay scale has to bump up like that in order to obtain. I think we have an issue with the airplane mechanics. Yeah.
Member Steins, I can get you that information. This is an autopsy of all of last year, and I've had the privilege of being here for about 2 months. So I haven't had a chance to really dig into the information, but I will get you that information.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay.
Be interesting to look at.
Question on the prior slide, the
Revenue?
district additional assistance,
Okay.
that one. What is that amount property? What is it? What's included
So
in
that's
that?
gonna be our construction costs. Now, I mentioned in the prior presentation that the majority of our construction costs are paid out of the bond, right? We reserve our district additional assistance to pay for things like student equipment and some of the clean room expenses or all of those welding machines that you see when you tour the campuses. This property line is going to be pass-through dollars to the member districts. So we have money that goes to the member districts for innovation grants as well as other capital uses, capital expenses. If we were to spend it, it would be coded differently, and so it would be reflect different. When we pass through, it has to use a certain code, so it comes in as property or other. That's why it just shows a little bit strange. And when Member Steins asked, are we within acceptable ranges? Yes, we are, but CTEDs look a little different. So if you were to ask me with all of my elementary experience, if these numbers look right without knowing anything about CTEDs, I would say not really. But now that I've learned about CTEDs and the pass through and how that we function, it looks absolutely appropriate to me.
Okay. And what is this other, what's included in that? The 6.5?
I'm sorry, that is the pass through. The property is gonna be your equipment, your furniture. The other is the pass through to the member districts.
Oh, okay. Then my other question was gonna be, I'm just curious, what budget did we start with at the beginning and compared to how we ended? What was the difference and what drove that difference?
We began the school year with a carry forward, if I'm understanding your question correctly, Chairman Ramirez, of $33 million in M&O. We ended the year with 35 million, so it was a positive $2 million essentially that we added to the carry forward this year. Does that answer your question?
Actually, it was what was our estimated budget at the beginning and then compared to?
On page 2 of the AFR, it will tell you what our budget was as well as our actual spend on the far right-hand side. I don't have any of that information up, but I'd be happy to get you that information after the meeting.
Yeah, I'm just curious how close we were to what our
Actual.
yeah, to what we kind of expected at the beginning of the year and where we ended up. All right.
What's an example of the non-instructional software?
We have to purchase, that's a very good question, we have to purchase software such as our financial software that we use to keep track of all of our financial reports. We also purchase software for our student information system. Those are both going to be included in that yellow pie slice. So those are examples of those non-instructional softwares that are imperative to the school district to function properly.
When you say purchase, that's, those are licenses, I presume?
Yeah, we pay for those annually.
They get a motion to approve the report?
So moved.
All right, can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Any additional questions?
You know, I wanted to apologize. I didn't mean to, my smart aleck comment about Dr. Spurgeon's salary. I apologize. That was uncalled for.
Let me call the question.
It's on now. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you. All right, item H1, a request for future agenda items. Any request for future agenda items from the governing board? Okay. Right, then moving on to motion to adjourn.
Like these meetings.
Oh, it's too early.
Okay, hang out for another half hour. Okay. Okay, you got a motion from Mr. Molina.